Greetings, friend. Do not turn that dial, or you will die within the hour. I'm kidding, of course, but if you abandon our broadcast now, you will miss out on an incredible tale, the likes of which I'm certain you've never heard before. Brace yourself, friend, for tonight's chilling tale is one of horror. And look at the time. It's almost the witching hour, but chilling tales can always be told here. For regardless of what the clock may say, around here it is always time to die. Yes, friends, tonight's tale is brought to you by the Time to Die Radio Network. Tonight's players are Tim Demeuse as the Game Master.
It's a hell of a day. You'd guess that it's definitely a little bit below zero and the wind is biting.
Chris Riley as Elliot Halloway.
I've come to try to bring my life back together, so to speak.
Aubree Gray as Dr. Dorothy. Greenbank.
You should know that Edgar is interfering with the research of an academic.
Eric Patt as Dart Vandermeek.
Maybe that's how the Ruskies beat them Germans on the Eastern Front way back when, eh?
And Brian Bridges as Ronnie Pinkerton.
I was just talking about the girls that got allegedly murdered, but I was thinking maybe they got mauled by a bear, even though there were shotguns involved.
Our story opens on a snowy midwinter in 1950s Wisconsin at the seemingly innocent Four Seasons Hotel and Lounge. Time to Die proudly presents The Devil's Antlers.
We can go ahead and open up with the Palm Lounge, which is a very nice bar with a bunch of tables sort of gathered so that they can all be facing towards this, not really a stage so much as it's like a dais, but there's instruments up there. It's raised. It's a platform where music is performed. So, I guess I should have just called it a stage. Anyway. It's getting to be late in the afternoon, and Dart, you would have to be getting ready to perform by about 6 p.m. And so if you wanted to tune any instruments or do any final check-throughs or anything like that before, the dinner guests and things like that will start to arrive and really fill up the room and, kind of make it a bit unpleasant to try and do everything that you're going to need to do if you would like to. And Ronnie, you would also be in the bar at this point. I think setting up, cutting various things up to get ready for bar service that night, cleaning glasses, going in back and opening up boxes of various liquors and making sure that all of your draft beers are, like, the kegs are full and things like that. And so, what are you guys up to?
First of all, you don't tune an accordion, Tim.
I didn't realize I thought you decided you weren't going to fucking play accordion.
No, I never said.
I fucking hate you.
Wow.
But yeah,
Dr. Dorothy's questioning what she said about liking jazz music. She's like, I'm gonna take that one back.
Yeah, Dart will check the microphones, make sure it's not going to be given feedback, anything. This is probably like a kind of a daily routine for him, almost like goes up, checks the sound quick, and then he'll walk over to the bar. Oh, how you doing, Edgar?
Mr. Vandermeek, how's every little thing?
Oh, I'm expecting this place to go gangbusters tonight, so...
It always does with you around.
Well, I know that you're working for tips here, man. I punch him on the arm a little bit from across the bar.
Hey, I don't just work for tips. I get free tickets to the show, to every single show. You should have been here just the other day. I saw Mickey Bobby dust knuckles with Charlie Cooper in the foyer. You should have been here for that. It was a heck of a thing. They're fighting over a dame, no surprise it's there. But Mickey had him a nice shade of blue. Mickey's nose was blue too, but that was from the liquor. Speaking of, what'll you have?
You bash yours a bit, but that's okay. Give me a whiskey.
Sure thing. Hey, did you catch the news the other day? You hear about the two girls?
Oh yeah, terrible shit going down there, isn't it?
Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting. You know, they had a guy that they were holding, but they let him go. They found a new guy. I don't know why they don't just investigate them both. That's what I would do. There you go. Hey, maybe I better make that a double.
Depends on how much longer you're planning on talking for. Why don't you go ahead?
Nah, double it is. Anyway, I don't know. They found this guy. They thought there was some sort of hijinks. He had these two broads at this place. Apparently, they left with nothing but their snowshoes. Can you believe that?
Seems a bit cold out for them.
That's what the news said. I was wondering, did they have the knickers?
Maybe they meant they took some snowshoes.
Oh. Hey, I gotta change the mental picture in my head.
It's alright, Edgar. Why don't you hold on to that mental image for as long as you can?
You know, I heard another news article that, maybe it wasn't this Peterson guy that killed him. Maybe it was the bear. You know, there's this guy that just shot a big bear.
Didn't you say that... Sorry, didn't the news say they died from gunshot wounds, though? You think bears are learning guns?
I wouldn't put it past them. Bears are intelligent creatures. Not that I would know. I'm from the city. But ever since I come down here, I've seen some bears wandering around in the park.
Yeah, maybe that's how the Ruskies beat them Germans on the Eastern Front way back when, eh?
Ooh, I don't envy them none. Bears make me shudder. I don't like the thought of them. Big old claws.
Well, I guess bears is a pretty reasonable fear, but, you just put out some bear repellent. Maybe, stock up on some kind of pepper spray or something.
They make that?
Aha! It's 1955. I'm sure they make everything.
I like the way you set a scene there, boy. Let me get you another drink.
I still got this one going.
I'll get you another one. You're gonna finish that one, aren't you?
Guess eventually, but I don't want to get too liquored up before my show.
Well, then I'll take it. I don't mind getting liquored up before your show.
A couple of wise guys make their way over and sit down at the bar, and you recognize them, Ronnie. I think, Dart, you maybe have seen them around. You guys both know that there's a decent mob presence. It seems like this is a place that some of them might come to lie low, or most often to heal. One of the weirdest things about Pembine is that Pembine has a full doctor, and he does surgery, and it's kind of a blessing for the area. Like, there are a lot of people that have been injured in ways that probably shouldn't have been able to survive it, but because there is this doctor up here, one of the wise guys actually does have a large bandage and cast around his right arm, and he'll kind of set his good hand on the table and tap it and say, Hey, give me a whiskey, eh?
Hey, sure thing, coming right up. You want rye, or I got some scotch?
You know, if it gets me drunk, it gets me drunk.
Well, I better give you the cheaper one. You can have more of it.
Hey, guy after my own heart. So, what you's talking about here?
I was just talking about the girls that got allegedly murdered, but I was thinking maybe they got mauled by a bear, even though there was shotguns involved, or some kind of rifle. You think a bear could handle a gun? That's really what the discussion was on the table.
Ain't no way no bear gonna handle a gun. Let me tell you about these broads up here, though. They find themselves out in the middle of nowheres all over the times, you know? It's a weird sort of thing. Not something you find in Chicago, you know?
Oh yeah, you know a lot about that, huh? Hey, maybe you bumped them off.
I didn't bump nobody off. Nobody hears, at least.
I didn't think you would tell me anyway. Here's your drinks.
You's a weird sort. He'll take a sip of his drink.
So, you come for the music or what?
Yeah, I came to, me and my buddy Paulie here. We're gonna check out the band and see if any broads show up,
Hey, you're talking to the man himself, not the broads, the band. I gesture towards Dart.
He'll look over at you, Dart, and he'll tip his cap.
I'll raise my my glass to them. Well, I don't know that I'd call myself a band so much, but
Don't sell yourself short. Hey, man's got golden fingers. You should see the crowd he could draw. Every single night. Sold out. Sold out. Hey, it's a good thing you got here early.
Yeah, we're gonna go and find a table, over theirs. And he scoots back, and him and his buddy both grab their drinks.
Hey, you better take this with you. I'll slide him the bottle.
Hey, thanks. And he'll throw a couple of bucks down onto the bar, and they'll walk over and sit down.
Hey, a little trade secret, Vandermeek. You see a couple wise guys like that, you want to get in good quick. That's why I gave him the bottle. I don't think he's going to pay for it.
well, I mean, he threw a couple bucks down there. That should, I guess, maybe not cover their costs here, but it'll at least cover the bottle for the upstairs, Not that I think they're gonna mind too much.
I figure if it's got to come out of my own pocket, it's like paying for my own protection,
Not a bad idea, I suppose.
Yeah, I call it tipping myself. So, when you starting? When's the shindig supposed to take place? Same time, same place, huh?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
You get nervous?
Oh, not too bad. I've been doing this for years, though.
Oh. I would get the jitters. Hey, I got a question for you. I mean, I don't want to have a little heart-to-heart, but this is a little bit of a personal question about your past. I was just curious. Is your full name D'Artagnan?
Oh, yeah, but no one really calls me that. Doesn't roll off the tongue too well. Plus, there's a couple people, over the seas where I was going, they kind of struggled with it, called it D'Artagnan, and so, didn't want to throw them off.
I get that. I thought that's what it was. First time I read the book. I could use a guy like you if you know how to sword fight.
Do what now?
A little sword play, ching-ching, just like in the movies, Zorro and all that.
No, I don't know how to sword fight. That's weird to ask even. Why? What?
The guy in my book did. Went by the same name. Three Musketeers, you ever heard of it?
I think I've heard of it, but I can't say I've read it.
You should take a look. I'm not much for books, but this one had me hooked. And you can see how well your name's represented.
Yeah, I'm not too big on books there myself. Maybe if they make it into a picture show, That's how I'll know it'll be good enough.
Hey, I better let you go. Feel good on the drinks?
Yeah, why don't you give me one just, for in-between sets,
Here, I got something for you. Hold on. I'm gonna go and, pull a bottle out. And it's gonna be, just pure crystal clear. And I'm gonna pour it into his glass and say, you and me, don't tell anybody.
What is it, like vodka or something?
Between you and me, let's just say this is gonna give your fingers the voice of an angel.
Give my finger... What the
I'm gonna start wiping the bar.
Alright, then. I pick up my glass and hurry away from him. What's he talking about?
A Greyhound bus. You can hear the air brakes hissing as it comes to a stop in front of the Four Seasons Resort.
I'm going to I'm going to fold up the paper that I was reading and kind of roll it up and place it under my arm as I grab my suitcase and step up to the front and walk out. And I'm already sighing, looking out the window at like how cold and particularly snowy it is, being that I rode up from the Chicago area to get up here, and over the roughly 8-hour bus ride, it has gotten progressively colder and snowier than it was down there. And I'm going to first stop to the driver and kind of give him a little bit of extra coin there and be like, I thought you were going to drop me off in town.
Well, you know, the roads are getting kind of bad, and I don't want to get stuck there overnight, so I'm sorry, but I think this is going to have to be the end of the line for you.
Right. Thank you for the ride anyway. I seem to be your only passenger at this point, and I turn around and look at an empty bus, and I'm like, well, safe travels. And I step out the door and I walk around to the front of the bus where there's a bike rack, and I just sigh again and say, hell. And I start to kick and sort of shake at this bike that's just covered in snow and ice on there and try to break it free from its clasp there, and bring it down. And it's so cold the wheels are not able to move, and so I'm just now dragging this bike towards the lobby of the hotel.
Okay. You start making your way up, and I mean, it's a long walk because there's terraced areas with steps, and you would imagine that, you know, in the spring, summer, and fall, it's quite beautiful here, but right now, it sucks. Like, you're kind of slipping and sliding, trying to get this bicycle up over all of these steps. Like, they're cleared off well enough, but not to the point where it's not still incredibly slick. You look out into the parking lot, and there's a decent number of cars here. Like, you would expect that probably a majority are employees, though, just judging by, you know, the fact that this parking lot is maybe 10% full at this point. You do, however, see that there's like a little marquee off to the side of this like columned like reception area where the main entrance is. And Dart, what is your band called?
Dart's band is called the Danish Dart.
All right. And you would see that on this, you know, kind of marquee board that's lit up, it would say, you know, the last couple of weeks until a couple more weeks from now, running, that the Danish Dart is playing every night at 6. And so, yeah, are you going to head into the lobby then?
Yeah, I'm gonna head into the lobby and go to the front desk area.
Okay. There is a young lady who's working behind the desk, and she'll look up at you and she'll say, welcome to the Four Seasons. How can I help you?
I would like to have a room if it's no problem. I was supposed to be dropped off in town, but apparently the bus doesn't run there in weather such as this.
All right. Single bed then?
That'll do nicely, thank you.
All right. That'll be $5.
Yeah, I open my briefcase, and there's like a sort of envelope in there that it's got like some money sort of just folded in there, and I take some out of it and hand it to the clerk there, and I ask, is Nora working tonight?
Oh, I don't know. She's the She's the head housekeeper. So maybe. Not sure.
It's fine. Don't bother her if you don't know. I'm sure I'll see her around. Well, thank you anyway. Oh, I need the key.
She will go to the backboard and pull a room key off, say 201, and hand it to you.
All right. By the way, do you have like a little convenience store in here that I could maybe buy some things? I wasn't expecting to be here tonight.
Oh, yeah. And she'll point down the hallway, the opposite direction from the little bar lounge area that's right off of this lobby. There is also kind of a stairwell going up to the right, but then the hallway leading off to the left. You would, if you continue down it, you would notice that there is a barber pole. Like, the door is closed and locked and there's no light on behind it, but you would imagine that you could get a haircut here during the daytime. And as you continue down a little bit further, there is like a convenience store, and there's a young man, maybe 22, working behind the counter, and there's like a bunch of shirts and like mostly just like cotton undershirts, you know. There's like underwear and soap and toothbrushes and, you know, just your various like sundries and toiletries and things like that.
Yeah, after I'll make sure to go and put my stuff in the room, and I guess I would just be like carrying the bike on my shoulder, and it's like dripping all over the hallway as it's like starting to melt in here. But I'll secure all that stuff in the room, and then like before I leave to go downstairs to that little store, I open the envelope again and kind of leaf through how much money is in there, and I sigh again. Man. Okay. And I just take a couple dollars out of there and bring it down with me to the store.
Okay.
And while I'm in there, I start perusing through the things. I'm guessing I would have kind of walked past the restaurant that would be in there.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff would they have?
The restaurant at this point, I think that the only place that you can get food right now would be to go to the lounge, because I think the restaurant is probably closed.
Oh, okay.
It's like 8:30 at night.
All right, yeah, and as far as I don't, like, immediately want to go down there, and so, like, I kind of look through the store, and I'm, like, looking in some of the cases, and they have, like, pasties in there, and I have no idea what the fuck those are. And so I kind of keep on looking around, and I find some, like, cans of tuna, and I just grab as many as I can and just put that on the desk. And I say, is there anything to read here? Books?
There's a Bible in every room.
Of course there is. Thank you. And I just pay the guy the $1 for the cans of tuna. And I'm going to run those back up to the room, and then I'll sulkingly make my way down to the lounge and just, like, you know, just ruminating over the just awful day that I've had so far.
Okay. You find yourself making your way into the lounge. You would see up on the stage that there are some people playing some jazz, and it sounds pretty good. There's a couple of waitresses going around taking orders from various tables, but also you could just go up to the bar if you would like to do that as well. There are a couple of seats open. Like, this house is definitely not packed.
Yeah, I'll go up to the bar.
Okay.
And I'll sit, like, probably as far away from anybody else as I can.
Ronnie, you've had a new customer walk up to the bar and sit down. You've never seen him before.
Afternoon, Frosty. You look like you could use some color in your cheeks. I think I got just the thing for that.
let's hope so. I unfold a $2 bill, and I slide it across the counter, and I say, I know it's not much, but I would like as much drunk as I can get with that, and still leave yourself enough for an adequate tip.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. You like brown or clear?
I like it in front of me. Thank you.
Oh, I can do that. How about this? And how about that?
Very, very nice.
You know, I don't recognize your mug. It doesn't ring a bell.
It wouldn't. I've never been here before.
Oh, stranger in town, huh? What's your name?
Elliot. Yours?
Oh, Ronnie, but my friends call me Edgar.
Oh, is it a middle name issue, or?
No.
Okay. Would you rather me call you Ronnie or Edgar?
I guess that depends. You want to be friends? I'll be friends with anybody who's shelling out $2.
I kind of look around, and I'm like, you know what? Let's be friends.
All right. So, what brings you to this place? It's kind of cold out here.
You want the short story or the long story?
I'm gonna scan down the bar and see if I got any other new customers waiting for me. I'll take the medium story.
Medium story. All right. I'm from far away, and most recently from even farther away.
Oh, hold that thought. I don't listen to a good story without a drink myself. All right.
Oh, of course.
Carry on.
Yeah, and so from far away, and most recently from even farther away. But I've come to try to bring my life back together, so to speak.
You know, I heard of that place.
Oh, both of them. Imagine that.
No, just the far away.
Oh, yeah.
I actually come from far away myself.
Does that far away happen to be Cambridge in England?
Oh, that's very far away.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York. I guess I got New England near me. Maybe that's the better version.
And before that, it was just Indianapolis. I'm sure you haven't been there.
See you from across the pond, eh?
No, just spent some time there. I went to school at Cambridge. I'm studying there, physics and math.
Interesting. Never got into myself. I'm more of a drink pourer.
Well, there's an art to that, too. And I raise my glass to him and take a sip. Say, do you happen to know Nora?
Oh, Nora, sure. She's the head housekeeper.
Yeah, what can you tell me about her?
Nora. What a peach. But she's up there, I'm down here. Our paths don't cross very often. I don't know if it'd work out.
Yeah, it's funny how she has that way with people. Although it's probably more on the other's end.
She'd do pretty well down here. There's a lot of fellas that could go for a girl like that. Maybe that's why she doesn't come down.
You notice that, like as you're talking about that, you start to hear this, kind of ticking on the countertop, and you realize that with his offhand, the one not holding the drink, he's kind of tapping a golden ring on the countertop there, not even realizing that he's doing it.
Yes, sirree. She's got a nice pair of gams, but not as nice as that. Are you a rich, fancy man?
I guess I could consider myself fancy. Rich, no. I've spent way too much in my pursuits to have acquired much.
I thought I caught you in the act. Shelling out $2 bills, saying that's all you got, and then you bouncing a gold ring on the table.
Yeah, that really hasn't served me with much utility lately either. But I'm hoping to change that. And I kind of give a forced smile to him.
Hey, I gotta wait on this customer over here, but I'll be back if you're here. You can just call for me.
Sure thing. Ronnie, Edgar.
Oh, hey, you ever heard of these guys? The Danish dot?
Heard of them, no, but I'm, pleased to see what they got.
Yeah, give them a listen. Man's got golden fingers. They got the voice of an angel.
All right, thanks. And I raise my glass to him again and start to sip some more and kind of spin around in the seat.
Dr. Dottie, you have this, 15-year-old kid. His ear is in between your two fingers, and you are marching him up the front steps of this large blue house on Newberry Avenue in Marinette, and you reach up and you pound on the door a few times, and this woman with a short black bob answers, and she's in her mid-40s, and she kind of looks very shocked at first. And what would you like to say?
I'm sorry. Are you this boy's mother?
Oh yeah. What was Edgar doing?
I feel like you should know that Edgar is interfering with the research of an academic.
Oh no. Edgar, what did I tell you about going out there and doing all sorts of the like, and you get yourself inside of here. And she grabs onto him, and then she sort of looks at him and realizes that, like, he's got this, like, furry costume that he's made, and she looks even more appalled, and she, like, kind of shoves him inside, and she says, I'm so sorry, miss. I'm so sorry. I thought he was out playing with his friends, and
they were interfering with my research in the process.
I understand. Here, I promise you that we'll make sure that he gets a proper punishment when his father gets home. I'll make sure that I tell him exactly what happened here, okay?
Oh, wonderful.
We try and keep to ourselves. We're godly folk, you know. I'm real sorry.
It's fine, you know. Teenagers will be teenagers. Just make sure he doesn't do it again. There's some dangerous stuff out in those woods.
She'll nod.
Yeah, there's just some dangerous stuff in those woods. I wouldn't want him getting hurt. It's really easy to fall down, especially when you're wearing a getup like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
No, thank you so much. Thank you. And she'll pat your shoulder and close the door, and you make your way to your... What do you have, like a 1950-something Chevy or something?
Yeah, ish. Not old, but not new either.
Okay, so you get into the car and you start the engine, and where are you heading now? Like, what are you up to now that you've figured out who this local Bigfoot was that was stealing things from various campsites and messing with a lot of your instruments and trail cams and things like that?
She turns on the engine, and then she'll, like, stop and, like, pull out an old-fashioned stenographer's notepad and flip a few pages in to where where just written on the top is Marinette Bigfoot, and then a bunch question mark, and then just, like, a bunch of other random stuff that's, like, sketches of footprints and stuff like that, and she'll just scratch out the whole page and slam it shut and toss it into the passenger seat.
Well, it's January 15th. It is really cold today, and so, you know, the engine is warm enough that you're not freezing inside the cab of this vehicle, but I mean, it's a hell of a day. You'd guess that it's definitely a little bit below zero, and the wind is biting. And then, where would you like to go?
Probably to the university to put this stuff in with, like, the rest of her file.
Okay. So you make your way to Main Street, and you start just traveling down. Eventually, it gets pretty thoroughly wooded. You know, you're getting towards the outskirts of town, and then you take a you take a left onto Lake, and you find yourself right on the lake shore, and the university is sort of nestled in the pines there. There's a few other cars in the parking lot, but for the most part, you know, everybody is on out and enjoying their Christmas break. You know, you're not going to be doing classes again until February, so you know, it's a welcome break for some of the professors, but others are still working, and the building is on and lit, and the janitors are taking this time to give a good thorough cleaning and do all their maintenance and things like that. And when you get out, like, the snow it's where that snow that gets old, and as it starts to get very cold in January, it's just crunchy, but you don't sink super deep into it because it's just slick. It's almost like ice at this point, and so you have to be careful making your way in. And there's only 2 buildings, and I think your office would be in the main sort of building that has the auditorium and also the modest gym and things like that. And so you make your way down the hallway, you take out your key and you put it into the door. And why don't you describe to us a little bit what your office looks like?
So, Dr. Greenbank's office is pretty, not tidy, but it's an organized mess. She's got a bookcase that's full on one wall, and there's a window behind her desk, and her desk is just covered in handwritten notes and typewritten stuff and just like all kinds of stuff. And she does have a typewriter. On one wall is a bulletin board that is covered in blurry photographs, newspaper articles, and some handwritten notes. And yes, they are connected with thumbtacks and red string. And she's just got a big cushy office chair and a couple other chairs in front of her desk. And on her desk are some photos, and it's just a nice little office. She's probably, considering lighting up one of the smokes she keeps hidden under a panel in her drawer, because at this point there's no smoking laws, it's 1955. She is just kind of digging into her Wisconsin geography book that she has, and just making like marks as to where territories for other Bigfoot types might be. And she's like speaking into like a tape recorder or something, just like, yeah, close to water, I guess. It's just, I don't know. And she looks back at the book, and would she know of any sort of Bigfoot type stuff from a little bit farther north?
Well, you know that most of the reports that you've seen about Bigfoot and Yeti and things like that, that you've read, they seem to be pretty docile creatures. But further up north from you in the Pembine area, up towards Norway, when crossing into the UP and things like that, like, you have read reports of people going missing in the winter. While that doesn't necessarily feel Bigfoot related, that does kind of feel like it could be related to, well, a multitude of legends and things that you've read about in all of your studies. But also it could just be pure coincidence, since people do fall and, go through ice, and you know what I mean? Like, there are incredible dangers of being outdoorsy in the wintertime in northern Wisconsin, and so it's kind of up to you if that's something you'd choose to pursue.
So she's going to go over, she would have these, like, cut out, the articles that you sent us, and she's going to go over and be like, and match up the places mentioned in these disappearance articles to the areas around where they are. So probably lands in the Pembine area. And she's going, well, let's see how we can make this tie into what I'm doing as part of the university, so let's see if they can. Okay. And she's going to go into, like, her bit of the book about the cryptids of Wisconsin and, like, the Midwest. She's gonna go into that book and match up everything that is associated with kidnapping people, or taking people without a trace. And specifically those that are found in that area, up around the UP, up around that type of thing.
Okay. So let's go ahead and have you roll intelligence, and this will be like the deep, where you're trying to roll a d20 and get under your score.
Okay. That's a fail. First roll.
All
That's
right.
a fail.
You spend some time looking through your books, and you're having a hard time coming up with anything that makes you feel like it fits. You know, there's malevolent spirits that kind of sound along that lines, like the Baycock or the Pagook, which are again sort of like demonic spirits that can inhabit nature, or also sometimes appear as like these sort of like either draconic like creatures, or large lizard or bestial type things, but it again doesn't seem super fitting because you don't have any bodies left behind, and normally with these demonic spirits the point is to intimidate, and so like to hide the bodies away somewhere and to be mysterious like this instead of being brazen doesn't fit so well, but it's also the only thing that you can come up with.
As she's doing this, she is not noticing time passing, so she's still going through all this stuff, and she doesn't realize until it's like pitch black outside that she's still here.
I think that once you notice it's pitch black, you hear a knock on the door, and it's Ted. He's one of the janitors, and he'll say, "Hey there, about to lock up. You heading out, or you want me to leave a couple of lights on?"
I should actually be heading out. Yeah, I don't want to try to drive home too late, even though it is already pretty late. Thanks for pointing this out, Ted.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's like 6:30 at this point. It's just dark as fuck.
Okay. And given where we are, she's like, yeah, I don't want to try to pick my way back to Marinette in this weather.
So you live in Marinette proper then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you're going to stay there for the night, then I will probably cut back to our friends at the bar. I think at this point, everything's winding down. Like, it's pretty late. Elliot, you can still be at the bar if you want, but most people have cleared out. Dart, you can still be playing a little bit if you want, or you can be done and just kind of bullshitting at the bar, or whatever you want to be doing, I guess, at this point.
I think Dart finishes up his song and says, "Hey, thanks for coming out, everybody. We're the Danish Dart. The band's going to be playing a little bit of background music for you for the next half hour or so. And anyone who wants an autograph or a record, come see me at the bar." I'll raise the last of the glass that Ronnie gave me of the clear liquid and tip it back and strike up the band to start playing the last little jams and make my way over to the bar.
Hey, Vandermeek, come over here.
Hey, how you doing, Edgar?
I got a fella for you to meet. Check this guy out. Came in from the snow. Had to warm him up.
Oh.
Hey, he comes from across the pond.
Oh, really? Well, howdy do, stranger.
Nice to meet you. And I stand up to greet him and extend my hand. Elliot.
I shake his hand. Name's Dart.
Dart, this man on the side right there.
Dart, I see. I heard you playing there. I've listened to jazz quite a bit, never quite heard it on accordion before. It's quite interesting.
Oh, for sure. It's all about free-form freestyle. You know, they say there's only 3 things that are certain in life. Death, taxes, and music. And when you get down to it, you know, whether it's accordion or guitar or just singing, you know, music's all about the soul, you know?
Yeah, so they say.
Here, let me buy you a drink, okay?
Speaking of, I guess that magic potion worked for you, huh?
Oh, me? I thought you might have meant the potion to warm Elliot up here.
No, I didn't give him one. Hey, maybe I should.
Well, he's got quite a warm reception, I gotta say. You know, you'd be good in, maybe being a front man or a public speaker or some sort. What kind of work do you do, Elliot?
Work? Well... it for the last, long period of my life, it's been leading up to work. Still waiting to find that thing that actually starts to, make money come in rather than go out. I've been studying in Cambridge.
Oh, Cambridge. Out in London, right? Or thereabouts?
Thereabouts, yeah.
I went there once. With the band, of course.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't a big fan of the jazz, I gotta say.
Are you sure it wasn't the accordion?
It was definitely the jazz, you know? I think they're just a little bit too uptight for it, you know? They're stuck in their, they're still a little bit too stuck up in rock and roll, I think.
Alright, take a swig of this. Don't tell anybody I gave you this. I don't think it's legally supposed to be sold here. It doesn't have a label. I got it from a gentleman. Seems like he was from the boonies.
It's not prohibition anymore.
After hearing that it's like from the boonies, I'd make sure to smell it before I drink it, and it definitely burns my nose hairs quite a bit, but I just take a deep breath and drink it anyway.
If he gives me any more, I might use it to clean the bar.
Yeah, as I drink it, I'm like doing one of those. Well.
So, Elliot, what brings you to town?
Trying to reestablish old connections, I guess. Kind of let something get away from me and trying to get it back.
Well, you don't seem old enough to have too many misconnections in your life, but definitely wish you the best of luck there, mate.
I think I know the real reason he's here.
Do go on.
He was asking me about the head housekeeper. I think he's got the hots for her. But I mean, you take one look at her. Who could blame him?
I kind of look away as he says that.
Which one is the housekeeper again?
You know Nora. Well, she doesn't come down here that often. Maybe you haven't seen her.
Nora, no. Oh, I think she came to the first show. Yeah.
Ah, so is you that scared her off?
No, it wasn't me. We had a short talk. She seemed nice. But she left not too long after the set, I don't think.
I think she's just not much into the squeeze organ.
The patio doors burst open from the wind, and this incredibly cold draft starts blowing through the room, along with a bunch of snowflakes, and, I mean, it's incredibly cold, and it's just a rush, and I think that some of you are a little bit sobered up by it, and, it's just blowing, and the curtains are, you know, blowing around it, and then one of the patrons kind of that's close to it walks up and forces it back closed, and then kind of looks at all of you guys like, that was weird.
You came to get away from the cold, and the cold came to you.
You got a real streak of bad luck going, don't you, Elliot? I clap him on the back.
Yeah, when you clap me on the back, I do one of those, not expecting it.
No, I've been here a year and never seen the doors do that before. Maybe somebody didn't latch it properly, but I think that maybe this might be one of the worst winters I've ever seen. Since last year.
I think that at this point, everything's starting to shut down, and I think, Ronnie, you need to, you know, yell out last call for everybody.
Alright, you cheesers. Last call for drinks. Come on now.
Yeah, people kind of amble up, and make their way to the coat room and get their jackets from the person that they checked them from, or the people that are staying here kind of start staggering their way up towards their rooms, and the band is putting away all of the things that they're, going to want to put away, but they're going to leave, the drum set and other things like that, since they're going to be back here playing again tomorrow night.
Hey, Teddy! You gotta close your tab. Actually, you gotta close last night's tab.
He kind of laughs at you and walks over and staggers up and slaps some money down, and you notice that it's a $20 bill and probably a little bit too much.
Hey, Teddy, this is also paying for tomorrow's tab, probably. Hey, you gonna make it home alright?
Oh yeah, no problem. And he'll stagger his way out.
Hey, Teddy!
Yeah?
Other way.
Oh yeah!
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And he'll stagger his way out the right way this time.
They found him in the park the other night.
Yeah, as he's closing out those tabs, I'm going to wander over to those doors that had burst open, and I want to kind of check them out, like fiddle with the knobs and look at the bolts on them and stuff like that to see why that would have, happened just from the wind.
Go ahead and roll me wisdom.
All right. Okay, what if it meets? Because I have a 5 in wisdom and I rolled a 5.
If it meets, it beats.
Okay.
Okay. So you're, looking at all of the various mechanical parts of this. You go over the hinges, you look at the latch. Yeah, you get, some contraction in the winter, and so there's a bit of a gap, like you can hear the slight whistle, but it's not as though the latch isn't making a good contact, even though the doors are a bit smaller than they normally would be in, say, the summer. All of the latches seem fine. All of the hinges are fine, if maybe in need of a little bit of oil, but nothing seems to be wrong, and both of the handles are the levers that would go down and rotate towards the joint where they meet in the door. And again, a little bit loose from wear and tear, but not to the point where it should have just burst open from even high wind.
Yeah, like I fiddle with it for kind of a few minutes. Like I'm kind of trying to find the point at which the bolt will like spring into the sort of, I don't know what the part's called that it goes into where it like won't open after that, but I'm trying to like find like how sort of wide that resting point is. And I'm, seeing that like, yeah, there's no way this door should have from a closed position been able to just like burst open like that without the handle being twisted. And,
You study doors over there in Cambridge, Frosty?
No, but it's just a curiosity of mine. It's quite an odd thing that just happened. There's plenty of things that aren't explainable, and could be one of those random quantum occurrences. And I say that like expecting them to like get the sort of joke that I'm used to making in Cambridge with other like theoretical physics majors and stuff, and I'm assuming that nobody would sort of get why I'm laughing and all that.
Quantum. Never heard of that drink.
Oh, pardon me. So we're all settled up, correct?
Sure thing.
Okay.
And that mystery juice was on the house.
Well, thank you.
I'll just say Teddy covered your tab for that one. I don't really. That's stealing. I don't do that.
Yeah. After just a shot of that, I'm surprised I'm not on the house right now. That's quite a strong drink.
Hey, that's funny. You're a funny guy.
Thank you.
You staying here long?
Possibly only for the night. I didn't expect to even be here right now, but I'll be around.
Oh, you should stick around. Call it a vacation.
Yeah, come to a couple more shows.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll meet each other's acquaintance again.
Yeah, visit your 2 friends down in the lounge.
At this point, you are the only 3 that are left in this room. And, Elliot, as you get up from the bar, again, this door bursts open and this cold wind starts to flow and howl throughout the room. And all of you roll me wisdom, please.
Oh, nice. I rolled a 4 that time, so I got that one again.
Okay.
Which is crazy, because my wisdom is only 5. This will be the only time in the game where...
Fail.
I pass.
Okay, so Dart and Elliot, you both hear the sound of footsteps crunching through the snow, but you see nothing.
Yeah, when that door bursts open, I immediately look over towards Dart, who I assume had just seen the same thing, and I'm looking for sort of mutual acknowledgement of this actually going on.
Dart has a really confused look on his face when Elliot looks over, and then starts to run over to close the doors when he hears those footsteps.
Yeah, and I run over at the same time, yeah. And you said we hear crunching in the snow?
Yeah, as you're both forcing against this wind, you actually have to put your body behind it. And you finally get the doors to latch. And you see these small handprints. No bigger than the size of a toddler's, maybe an infant. It's very small. But there's a few of them that are just appearing in the frost, sort of melting it and creating these handprints. But there's nothing on the other side of the glass.
I'm gonna take my belt off and wrap it around the 2 door handles and belt the door together.
Yeah, I'm transfixed on these handprints. There's nothing that I've studied that makes me understand how that could have happened. Even with all sorts of the variables and the wind pattern and the eddies that would form and wave cancellations from the way that the wind was bursting in or anything. That's incredibly peculiar to me.
You watch as these hands climb higher.
When I see them climb higher, I immediately sort of double back and almost fall over my own legs, onto my ass, and I'm sort of backing up on my hands.
Take it easy there, fella. You guys look like you've seen a spook.
When they get up to the top, you see the doors rattle a little bit, and then they rattle harder, and then the glass just bursts forward, and it showers all over Dart and Elliot, and it's this loud sort of howling scream that echoes throughout this room, and then it gets eerily quiet, and the wind dies down, and the snow stops, and you hear the footsteps again, but they sound like they're getting further away, crunching through the snow.
Hey, what was that you were saying about it? Quantum currents is there?
Fellas, if this is some sort of gag, I don't think I like the joke.
Yeah, they're talking, but it's just not registering to me. I'm just totally eyes fixed on the door, and then I have to, after a second, take my glasses off and wipe them on my shirt because they've fogged up after getting cold, and then the warmth of the room fogging them up again.
I start to pull Elliot back, at least towards the bar.
Hey, come on.
Oh, we should not stay here. Just right here. We need to...
You saw that too, right? You saw it, the hands,
Oh, I saw the hand. Yeah. The fuck was that?
I'm gonna go behind the bar and kind of shakily pick up just a 45 from the back. Hey, fellas, maybe we should call it a night, huh?
Yeah, like, I don't even, like, turn to actually say anything to him. I just sort of walk around, like, turn around and start to, like, hastily go up to my room.
Crazy words, crazy tune, all that you'll ever hear him croon. Bo-do-dio, bo-do-do-dio-do. But I know when sits around all night long, sings the same words to every song. Bo-do-dio, bo-do-do-dio-do. His ukulele daily, and how he's drumming a bam-bam-bam, vamping and stamping. Then he hollers black bottom, crazy words, crazy tune. He be driving me crazy soon. Bo-do-dio, bo-do-do-dio-do. There's a guy I'd like to kill. If he doesn't stop, I will. Got a ukulele and a voice that's loud and shrill. Cause he lives next door to me, and he keeps me up till 3 with his ukulele and a funny melody. Of black bottom, you all heard yesterday. What did President Coolidge say? Vododio, 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 do.
And before that, it was just Indianapolis. I'm sure you haven't been there. Anyways,
So you're from across the... So you're from I can't say that fast. So you're from
So you're a cop?
That's why I did not drink this session, because I knew I would start slurring. So you're from across the pond, eh?
And I raised the last of the clear glass that Reggie gave me.
Reggie?
Ronnie gave me. That not Edgar gave me. Yeah.
Dart, I see. I heard you playing there. I've listened to jazz quite a bit. Never quite heard it on accordion before. It's
God damn it.
Quite interesting.
I hate you so much.
How the hell am I going to do
I
this?
thought that he said that on recording before.
Ah, boy.
Didn't he already say that as we were recording?
Yeah, but we didn't take him seriously.
I took me seriously.
I hate you so much, Eric.
Oh, it's an untapped market, I gotta say. Like,
I hate you so fucking much.
a year or two more, we're gonna be made in the shade, I gotta tell you.
I'm fucking erasing all of this shit.
So, tell me, does the theory translate over very well into that instrument? Are you sure it wasn't the accordion?
It's definitely the jazz, you know? I think they're just a little bit too uptight for it, you know? They're stuck in their, were the Beatles around in the 50s?
No.
Elvis. Perhaps probably late 50s. You'd say Marilyn Monroe.
She's not a singer.
She sang Happy Birthday to the President.
And diamonds are a girl's best friend. Don't do her like that.
They're still a little bit too stuck up in rock and roll, I think. They gotta get into the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he'll stagger his way out the right way this time.
You know, they found him in the park the other night. God damn it. Go ahead. I'm going to shut up.
Okay. Yeah, as he's closing out those tabs, I'm going to wander.
Thanks for joining us here at Time to Die Podcast Network for our first episode of The Devil's Antlers. If you didn't know, we have many actual play shows produced in this style, with voice acting, sound effects, and original music, and you can find them all at timetodierpg.com. The ukulele outro music was Crazy Words, Crazy Tune, performed by the marvelous Charlotte Pelgen. Find more of her music at charlottepelgen.com, instagram.com/charlottepelgen, or search for Charlotte Pelgen on YouTube. Social media links for our cast members are listed in the description of each of these episodes, as well as the link to our Discord server where we all hang out. Speaking of, the Discord's also a good place to come chat with us about the show. Our players were Tim Demeuse, Chris Riley, Aubree Gray, Eric Patt, and I'm Brian Bridges. If you like the show, the best way for us to grow is if you share it on social media, or with your friends, not to mention leaving reviews for us if you'd like. If you want to support our efforts financially, you can pledge any amount at patreon.com/timetodierpg, or make one-time donations at ko-fi.com/timetodierpg. And you can also buy merchandise at sonerdwear.com/timetodie. If you buy our merch, you can use this discount code at checkout, Time to Die, and receive 10% off your entire order. Nice! Links for everything that I've just mentioned are in the description of this episode. That's all for now. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of The Devil's Antlers.